This full moon in Taurus is really about giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and allowing yourself to value what you have done, the work you've chosen to do, while also continuing to do the work. Feeling what's happening in your body, retreating within, and allowing the healing to happen, and recognizing that, first off, healing needs to happen. My name is Mimi Folco. I am a tarot reader, astrologer, and numerologer here at Harvey Mountain Alchemy, and I am here to give you your full moon in Taurus tarot reading. Before we get to that, I did want to let you know, in case we haven't hit the 300 subscriber mark yet, I am doing a giveaway when I reach that mark. All you have to do, so that I know you're interested, is drop a comment of your favorite emoji and you will win a 30-minute tarot reading. That won't be given away until I hit those 300 subscribers. So thank you so much to everybody who does watch these videos. I love helping you guys and you guys are helping me too. So just as I heal in the world is healing me. So let's get on to the reading. I have your 3 piles down here below. And yeah, let's go. All right, so pile number 1, we've got the Curious Creatures Tarot deck. Pile 2, we have this Book of Shadows Volume 2 deck. And pile 3, we have the Modern Witch Tarot deck. All right, so pile 1, I have your Curious Creatures deck here. This is by Chris Ann, who also made the Light Seers and the Muse Tarot deck, both of which I'm pretty obsessed with. I love her creations. So I want to see first off what we are working on healing. We've got the Hierophant. And that jumped right out as I was saying that. The Hierophant, maybe the idea that you don't know enough. I think that's the real core thing here, is feeling like I don't know enough. I am always the student. I have to keep absorbing information from other people and almost not giving your voice the power or honoring your voice, honoring your experiences throughout your life. I almost feel like there's some people who are in their mid-30s who still feel like they have to listen to everything their mom or dad says, you know? Like, you are an adult now. You have experiences under your belt. So I think for you, what you're healing is the ability to feel secure in following that inner voice. And also recognizing that you are a role model for others. I think you are a student. We are always students. But I think you have also mastered an ability to teach others without even realizing that's what you're doing. You are a role model to others. People do look up to you because you do seem poised, you seem put together. And I think something that you need to recognize is that you don't have to look put together. You don't have to, keep up with those appearances just because that's what people are used to. You can be yourself, whether that means you are a mess sometimes, you are allowed to do that. So that's what we're healing, is that core feeling that I don't know what I'm doing, that I don't know enough, that I always have to listen to everybody else's input. So how we can release that, especially on this full moon, we got the Empress. I mean, that's the Taurus card right there. The Empress is about self-value and is about knowing your worth and loving yourself for your worth. And even if you don't feel the worth, giving yourself the love anyway. Treating yourself as though you are a queen, because you are, gender unrelated. So being able to gift yourself the love that you are craving from others, maybe that validation or that approval from others because you listened to what they said and you did what they said, so now you are a good, they are your master sort of thing. You need to be your own master at this point. And just off the bat, we've got these 2 major arcanas. And they're quite early on in the major arcanas, right? From 0 to 22, this is 5 and 3. So we're still kind of working on how to open and expand our mind when it comes to viewing ourselves and being more self-aware in that way. So what you need to release is this Empress. Look at this ostrich, knows that she is special and she's got all of these butterflies around her. So releasing that feeling that I have to do what other people say because I'm not special enough to follow my own inner voice. What we are manifesting this full moon, that's what we are going to pick right now. Oh, okay, well, 2 guys flipped over. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. I think we are manifesting a clarity, especially when it comes to work or when it comes to what we do, what we create. Maybe we own a business. Maybe we are manifesting some sort of clarity in that situation. And Taurus does rule our finances. So even if you're not dealing with the self-value side of Taurus, you could be dealing with the more financial and stability side of Taurus. So maybe you're at a crossroads of what it is you want to do, or maybe you're not at a crossroads, you're feeling stagnant and maybe a little bit, stagnant is the word. Sometimes Taurus can be really stuck in its own place and you want options, and that's what you're manifesting, is options to choose from. Something that you can, pick a coin out of your purse and it's not going to hurt anything. I don't know if that made sense to anybody, but that's what came out. So that you have a big bag of options, you can just pick one out and you're good to go. I think that's what we're manifesting, is having some form of exhilaration, definitely, because we have this Hierophant card, which is traditionally ruled by Taurus. So you got 2 Taurus cards in the beginning. But I also always think of it as Sagittarius too, because it's about expanding the mind. The Hierophant is all about the fool's encounter with schooling and maybe conventional learning and organized religion. But think about when a 5 or 6-year-old goes to school for the first time, the amount of information that suddenly their brain is being overloaded with. That's the Hierophant, of really expanding your mind and opening up to these new abilities or options to value yourself. That's what really is at play. So we are manifesting the Ace of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups, the ability to pick out of the bag and know that we always have options. Or maybe that you are at a crossroads and that you are gaining some clarity right out of that bag. You know which choice you want. So let's see the best way that we can manifest this. There we go. The 10 of Swords. I think you have to get out of your head. In order to manifest this clarity, I think your head is swimming with all of these options and maybe with other people's voices. Look at this. It's like a bumblebee. And I feel like that energy of other people's voices just clouding your head and clouding the options and clouding your clarity, not helping you make a decision. So what you need to do in order to properly manifest the choices that you want, or the clarity that you want, or whatever else this is pointing to, you need to clear out everybody else's opinions. And instead, I mean, how many times do I have to say it? This Scorpio season is all about feeling it in the body and being in touch with the emotions that your body is holding. So I honestly would say, like, do a 2-minute meditation, think about your options and notice how your body reacts to those options, to each one individually. And when you feel some sort of light up or warmth or joy, that is the option you need to go to. And instead of listening to everybody else's opinions of what you need to do, or thoughts on your actions, or thoughts on your life trajectory, you have to release all of that so that you can actually just feel how your body is reacting to these options. I feel like some Libran energy here, which is ruled by Venus, same as Taurus. I'm still in awe that you got 2 of these Taurus ruled cards. That's pretty incredible. We are dealing with all facets of Taurus during this. The stability facet, the love, the self-love, the value, the feeling of the worth, and even a little bit of that stagnancy and maybe some stubbornness. Yeah, stubbornness to listen to your own inner voice. So I didn't have a question, but the 4 of Pentacles came out. So definitely the stability and security and finances are definitely apparent or prevalent for some of you guys watching this. So maybe I should speak on the money point of this a little bit more. What do we need to do in regards to finances? 5 of Wands. Maybe find somewhere that you can collaborate instead of, I almost feel like there are a lot of conflicting energies that are trying to work together, but they're not meshing well. So I think almost at work, you're trying to make it work. You're trying to make it a good environment for you to create and make your money in. But I think there are just some people around you that you just don't mesh with. And that's okay. And it's okay to make the decision to leave because you don't mesh well with the people. That is your daily life. That is something that you have to deal with on a daily basis. And if you're not enjoying the people that you're spending your time with, it just might be time for a change. So that's what I see in terms of going on the work side of it. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What is the best method of healing for you? during this time, during this full moon. The best method of healing. There we go. 2 of Wands. I do think that there's a need to explore something new, where maybe you are only doing tarot, or maybe you are only watching other people do tarot. Hello, thank you for your support. I think it's almost time for you to take action. And instead of watching other people do things that you love and appreciate, it's almost time for you to embody those actions and do it yourself. Look at these red heels that this animal is wearing. Is this a cat? Yeah, it's a cat. And think about how exploratory, or like how much cats love to discover new things. I remember when we moved into a big house with roommates, my cat went crazy and was so excited about it because there was so much more square footage for her to discover. So think about that there is so much more out there that you haven't really explored or tried to discover yet. So that, I think, is the best way for you to heal, is to open and expand your mind a little bit, like that Hierophant was saying. Expand your mind a little bit to see what's really out there, to see the options. Be willing to feel out all of the options that are in front of you. So let's pick an oracle, or 2 or 3. Oh, okay. Competition came out. These 3, that's too much. It's like 8 cards. Competition came out, and it did land on the 5 of Wands. So that feeling of not meshing very well with others, or maybe you're sort of at this like tug of war feeling, like there's always this push and pull between you and somebody else, maybe someone that you're working with, or maybe somebody who's not valuing you the way that you deserve to be. That competition is just a little bit more prevalent. And that's funny, that card landed right on top of the 5 of Wands. So let's see. There are so many cards in this deck, and I swear I always get the same 10 oracles. So let's see. Let's really shuffle these up, see what else comes out for you. That guy. Radiance. Again, another one that I normally get. So yeah, that's that radiance of exploring your own beauty, and like really acknowledging and sitting in your beauty, sitting in your value. The Empress does not doubt herself. So do not doubt that your body can tell you exactly what you need to know. So that is your full moon in Taurus reading. I hope that was helpful. I really love to hear back from you guys. So please do comment below your experience, maybe your favorite card. And if you're interested in winning a 30-minute reading, drop down your favorite emoji. So sending you a lot of love, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 2. We have your Book of Shadows Volume 2 deck here. I love this deck. It's such a little classic one that I love to come back to. I don't feel like it draws a lot of people in, so let me know that you picked pile 2 if you did in the comments below. All right, so what are we healing this full moon in Taurus? We've got the 7 of Cups. Maybe our inability to make a decision, maybe the crossroads that we're at where there are so many options that we are feeling very overwhelmed and again, can't make a decision because there's just too much at play. Maybe maybe you want to do so many things, and because you have all of these things that you really want to do, you don't know where to start. So in all of those examples, I do feel this sort of stagnancy, or like this inability to move forward because you're paralyzed. That's what I'm feeling, is that paralyzing feeling of not being able to make your choice. So that is what we're healing this time around. And it's a cup, so it's very intuitive. It is emotional. You're dealing with that scorpionic energy of that inner depth that you're feeling. So let's see what we need to release this full moon. We got the Knight of Wands. Interesting. I think maybe you need to release the idea that once you start, you can't give up, or once you start, you have to continue doing it forever. Like you have to commit to the option, but know that if you pick one of these cups, there are still 6 cups that you can choose from at any given point. You can always go back to them. It may not feel like you can right now. That's what I sort of just got, is somebody is like looking for a job and they have 3 offers and they have to pick one sort of thing, which like lucky you. But so it doesn't feel like you can give up on the one job and always go back to one of the other options. But I'm getting the message that you will always be able to go back to an option, one of those options. And even if it's not the exact option that you have, like out of your 3 options right now, there is always going to be something else if you decide that this is not for you. So I think you need to release the idea that you are creating this really strong bond with the option that you choose. Allow yourself to explore a little bit. So what you are releasing, the Knight of Wands, yeah, a need to maybe, yeah, just like that, maybe that you have to be extremely passionate about what you're trying when you try it. Oh, the King of Pentacles, that's so crazy. I got these two cards today when I was doing a little reading on what this reading should be about. So the King of Pentacles, how interesting. Being of service to others. You have to release the, oh, okay, I see. You have to release the idea that other people expect you to commit, so you have to commit. There's so much about this full moon, which is surprising, about other people perceiving you. And the expectations that we put on ourselves because we have thoughts about how other people are perceiving us. So for you, it's better to not make a decision, not make a choice, just stay where you are, because then people won't see if you mess it up or if you fail. That's really interesting. So the idea that you have to commit, otherwise people will think that you are a quitter. It's okay to quit sometimes. Let me just tell you that right now. If it doesn't mesh with you, good for you for trying, and then you can move on. It's okay to leave something behind if it doesn't bring you joy, even if you thought it would. So what we are manifesting this full moon, oh, we got the Nine of Wands. How interesting. This is really interesting because this Knight of Wands looks a lot like the Nine of Wands, both kind of at an altar situation. And so what we are releasing is this, what we are manifesting is this. I think what we're releasing is our public persona in a way, or releasing, maybe if you are a magical person, releasing the idea that other people have to see your magicalness in order to be a magical person. So what we are manifesting is this inner knowing and inner belief in our own magic. And that is quite Taurus, because Taurus is all about believing in the self, about acknowledging the self-worth and the value that you are bringing to the table. So for you, I think what you really need to manifest is this belief in the self, belief that you are magical, whether other people see it or not. So instead of making these choices that you have to make, like almost this public, like I'm feeling this like public, everybody is kind of watching what you do. And even if they're not, maybe you have that feeling that everybody is watching what you're doing. So to release that, because you need to heal the fact that not everybody cares about what you do as much as you do. And that's almost a relief in a way, because then it's only you. You have that autonomy that you get to be in charge of yourself. And that's something that Taurus and Scorpio have in common, is that they like to be in charge of themselves. Taurus rules my money, and Scorpio rules their money. So being able to, they both rule sort of having an ability to control or have some sort of stability in their ability to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, in their ability to contain themselves to themselves. So I think that's what you're manifesting, is this ability to still be extremely magical. The Nine of Wands is a very magical card. It's a very potent and powerful card. And still be that and believe in your power despite being in the dark, despite being in your own quiet room where nobody else can see you. Look how lit up she is compared to the Nine. It's basically the same person doing the same thing, but just being able to do it in the privacy because it's for them. It's not for others. So let's look at how to manifest this. How do we want to manifest our own inner belief in our magic? How beautiful. The Five of Pentacles. Oh, I think it's important for you to be okay with not knowing what you're doing and being a beginner. I almost feel like this is for like those beginner witches out there who don't know what they're doing, and they just bought a bunch of spell candles, bought a bunch of spell jars, and, you know, they're just trying to figure it all out, and they have to look towards everybody else to teach them how to do it. I think it's important for you to learn through trial and error. Learn what does work, learn what doesn't work. And again, I mean, I'm seriously like a broken record. I really want you to meditate for a couple of minutes and just feel how your body is reacting to the things you're trying out. These options that you are trying out, you know, go through the options and meditate on each single one of them, meditate on each one of them, and notice, be really in touch with the way your body reacts to these certain options. And that'll sort of tell you, that'll help you tap into your intuition and become this more magical person that does believe in themselves. That'll help you tap into your intuition and decide what is best for you during this time, you know, like your course of action right now. So how to best manifest is by allowing yourself to not know what to do next. That is okay, to release that control. All right, so let's see what else I want to pull. Why don't we pull just some cards and see what comes? Like that guy just popped right out on top of the King of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Wow, I love that. So this King of Pentacles was all about being seen by other people, being worried about how other people will perceive you and the choices that you make, and maybe your indecision or not wanting to commit to the one choice you made. And so this Queen of Pentacles came up. Allow yourself to value you. The Queen of Pentacles, that is Taurus right there. Being able to totally acknowledge your strength, your determination, and that you know when to quit. You know when to give something up when it's not providing that joy for you anymore. Really tapping into that intuitive part of yourself, that it doesn't matter what the neighbors think. Just be in love. Just have the job you love. Just be yourself and live in your magic and be happy with that. You don't have to hold the weight of everybody else's perception of you, or even just the thought of how they're perceiving you. That's really coming up for this week, this full moon. Really, it's surprising to me that that's what's coming up, but that's what's coming up. So let's pick some oracle cards. We've got partnership. Yeah, really allowing the people that are willing to grow with you, and that are willing to allow you to grow. And not that you need other people's permission to grow and evolve as a human, but I do think it's helpful for you to have people on your side and to have that support. So being open with them, you know, having that open line of communication with them to say, I'm going through this thing and I'm feeling insecure and I need to know my worth. So if you could help me stay on track, that would be good. So asking people for help that you think would actually help you. And then that also weeds out the people that aren't willing to help you. There we go. 2 more. Mischief and vanity. Interesting. Yeah, stop worrying about what you look like so much. And that's pretty Venus, about how you appear or what you look like, your aesthetic. And so in a way, that's also Taurus. More Libra, but still some Taurus there. Taurus likes to be beautiful. So releasing some of that vanity and instead looking at yourself, looking at what pains or maybe difficulties in your friendships, in your relationships, vanity has caused, maybe some comparison or some competition with other people. I think comparing your appearances to other people's appearances it needs to be let go of. We all know that, and it's hard to do, easier to say. But I do think that it plays a little role here in like your competition with other people. Instead, why don't you compete with your past self so that you are always improving yourself? So that is your full moon in Taurus reading. I hope that was helpful for you. I'm really interested to see how this comes up for you. Let me know if you are a Taurus or a Scorpio, or how this is affecting you in the comments below. I love to hear from you. And don't forget to post your favorite emoji if you want to win that free 30-minute reading once I hit 300 subscribers. So I will see you next time, and thanks. Bye. Hello, pile 3. I've got your Modern Witch Tarot deck. That totally just blanked for a half a second, but here we go. We've got your Modern Witch Tarot deck. So we're going to look at what your full moon in Taurus is going to be like. At first, I want to look at what we are working on healing. So we're just going to wait for something to pop out here. There we go. 4 of Swords. Have you been calling yourself a lazy little butt lately? That's what just came through for sure. Allowing yourself to rest is really important. And I think maybe you are healing the notion that rest equals lazy and rest equals unproductive and unproductive equals worthless sort of thing. You are allowed to rest every now and then. And I don't mean every day take a little nap, but it certainly could be that. I mean taking a damn week off. Letting yourself have a week of not having to worry about your work, or maybe, I mean, you can't just take a week off from family, but taking a week off of something, unless you can, then do it. But I just feel like we are healing the concept of what rest means to you and what healing even means to you. The Four of Swords is about sitting back, allowing yourself to really sit and rest and heal in the silence, and healing in the quiet, not the quiet, but the inactivity. That's what I'm trying to say, is that by doing nothing, you're actually doing more for yourself. So that is kind of the grand concept that we are working on this full Taurus moon. That was my cat. Hi, Boo. She lost her voice a while ago, so that's her meow. All right, what we are letting go of. Everything is fine. This 10 of Swords, that's actually just everything is fine. So what we're letting go of is maybe, yeah, I think you need to take a break off of social media for sure. Feeling a little overwhelmed by all the information that's being spewed at you and needing to take a bit of a physical break, a physical and a mental break. Really allowing your mind to rest, because we do absorb so much information these days. There is a need to sort of decompress and maybe release some of the information so that our brains don't feel so clouded, or maybe the headaches can go away. I'm feeling like some of you are getting a lot of headaches lately, and it might just be that you're very overstimulated or overwhelmed with all the information and emotion that's coming. So let's pick another card, because that is sort of just like an extra in the deck, and I like to see what else comes up for this. Oop. The Four of Cups, what you need to release is that you always have to take in the next thing. Yeah, that fear of missing out kind of thing. And it's almost like, I really do feel this social media thing where you are taking in all of this information that at a point it's not even stimulating anymore, and there's just sort of an addiction to taking in the information. And like, she's wearing this hoodie that literally says over it. You are over it. So why don't you just put the phone down, put the computer away, and stop being on social media. Even this video, if you're feeling inspired right now, turn this video off and I will see the spike in my YouTube analytics. You can just take the time away to really rest yourself, you know? So that Four of Cups, yeah. Everything is fine. We're going to be totally fine. And I'm also just completely over it. That's what we need to release, is also this feeling of apathy. I think by consuming so much information, you are becoming apathetic to it. And I just realized, look at her, these 4 swords on the wall pointed towards her, and she looks like she has a headache. Just as soon as she wakes up, there's just all of this information, right? Swords rules information. All of this information just right in front of her. So even when you wake up in the morning, don't go straight to the phone, you know? Don't go straight to your notifications, your texts, your Instagram, whatever. So what we are manifesting this full moon. The Page of Swords. Being in control of what you take in. Being in control of your the information that you allow in. And instead, you being the informer. You know, instead being very selective about where you get your information. You know, instead of reading headlines on social media, read headlines in the news and then let go. And then we got the Devil here. What we are manifesting is maybe, oh, wow. I almost feel like that's a release of the Devil, a release of, and the Devil rules social media, because it ruled by Capricorn, which rules the public image, social media. That's how I get from A to B. So what you need to manifest is a more curated and more realistic, what is it, like your feed page needs to be more realistic and more curated, so that it's something that you actually can relate to and you feel like it is more real life than it is like just a bunch of perfect people having a really amazing time in their lives. We are going through an intense time right now, and especially this month, we have so much to heal and retreat within and heal within ourselves that it's hard to see that everybody else is just having a really easy time. Everybody else is having their own struggles too. So to see on social media that everybody else is fine, it makes you feel like you are the one who is broken. You're not broken. You just have to be more selective with the information that you are taking in. Okay, how do we manifest this? The Queen of Swords. Yeah, I mean, you're getting all of these swords. how you manifest it is you take action from what you know is true within you. If you are getting another message from this, follow it right now. It might not be about social media. It might be instead about your anxieties, or maybe about your schooling, that you're taking in too much, you're doing too many classes, you're learning too much, you need to sort of slow down. I think there's also a feeling of like there's such a rush to get to the next thing. There doesn't have to be a rush. Remember, we're healing that idea that we have to always be doing something in order to be valuable and worthy. So what you are manifesting is your ability to speak up about what you believe is good for you. And maybe it's not speaking up as in speaking out to other people, but just acknowledging it within yourself and being able to say, this doesn't make me feel good, and it's not actually helpful in any way. Even if it doesn't make you feel good, doesn't mean you can just shove it away, because sometimes what doesn't make us feel good is what's good for us. But if it's not good for you, to release it and say, I don't need you anymore. All right, well, let's see what else comes through here. We've got a couple cards that are pretty active and want to come out, but the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, hone in on your craft. I almost feel like there's some sort of new hobby that needs to come in, that needs to be explored. So allowing yourself to try something new, and because you're not going to be putting the pressure of everybody else seeing it, or you're not trying to become one of the pieces of information overwhelming other people, you're just doing it for you. And so I think to be able to like honor what you can create with your hands or with your mind, being able to honor that and being able to give yourself the value that you deserve based off of what you are able to create. So yeah, creativity is really important around this time. All right, let's see what oracle cards come up for you. Okay, we've got conscientious. Yeah, being really intentional with your actions, being really intentional with what you say to yourself, what you say to others. Because you have all these swords, communication is definitely also at play. I could have gone down a really different route, talking about communicating with others and having to release the need to always say everything, or always having to listen to what everybody else has to say. So being really intentional with how you communicate, being really intentional with what you take in, with what you absorb, the information you allow to inhabit your body. Let's see. This guy. Frame of reference. Yeah, I think by getting a new perspective, or I think by releasing, if this is about your social media, or just releasing your constant intake of information, you get a new perspective of what reality really is, you know, like looking up and out your window for about 10 minutes and seeing that this is the real world here, and I don't have to absorb all of the information I'm being given through my screen. And one last one. Let's see what comes through. There you are. Wise guy. Love it. I think you would be really in touch with your, oh, and drama and solidarity jumped out. But wise guy, I think some wisdom can come to you through this. I think you'll be able to just get a better grip on how you feel about things. Because I feel like there's this energy of always having to catch up to the next thing. You don't really get to sit with how you're feeling about all of these things. So being able to rest, release, and heal through your mind, your mental activity, I really feel like the headaches need to be gone. You actually gain this sort of wise understanding. Well, Boo just jumped up. So I guess that's the end of your reading. Thank you, Boo. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope you have a wonderful Taurus full moon, and that you're able to really rest and heal and allow your body to send you the loving messages that you need. So let me know in the comments which of these cards resonated with you the most, or drop your emoji if you want to win that free 30-minute reading once I hit 300 subscribers. So sending you a lot of love. Hope you're well. I will see you next time. Bye.